So you have adopted cloud and it is already beginning to get complex. There are multiple instances. Perhaps your application requires them to be geographically distributed because you are catering to audiences from across the globe. So you want to make sure each individual, depending on geography and time, is getting the most optimal experience. You've adopted multiple technologies, multiple deployment models, more and more complex services. So it's beginning to get complex. Either you have realized it or you will realize very soon that this is getting out of control. You had tried hard to control all employees in your organization and say, you come through me and I'll give you that infrastructure. And now you have opened the Pandora's box and say, here is a credit card, swipe it and get me what you want on the cloud. And the moment you did it, all that pent up frustration sort of came out, and then you see it's going way out of control. You have no idea of how much capacity is being used. And we have observed this working with multiple of our clients. Some of the leading clients who are real power users of cloud, very quickly we realized that they have been reckless, unintentionally so, about the use of cloud capacity. In fact, there are instances where we figured out that they have over-provisioned the cloud capacity by 200 to 300%. Because it's not very intuitive to figure out what you really need and how much, especially when the environment starts to get very complex. So it's very important, and already cloud architects, cloud adapters are beginning to ask questions. Have I designed my application right? Is it performing optimally? Have I used the right performance tenets? Have I built application truly the cloud way? Or I've just somehow quickly migrated it and I'm beginning to see efficiencies? Okay. If there are issues, how can I isolate it? If the application goes down, can I really figure out? Because as I said, the world is becoming complex. You have multiple servers distributed across the globe, multiple technologies, multiple development frameworks, etc. You have multiple points of vulnerability. You want to really have solid, responsive apps that you have good control on. Okay? And this challenge is very different from how you used to do application performance management in a traditional model. You can understand and appreciate how the complexity is becoming big. And you don't want to get theoretical about performance management, because you are adopting complex cloud architectures because your end user requirements are complex. And that standard model of I will just put in millions of requests through a black box and see how my server scales up, that's not sufficient. So we have invested in building performance management suites and solutions that you can use to optimally size your cloud infrastructure, to be able to monitor them well, to be able to get a single dashboard view of everything that is going across the globe, identify potential point of vulnerabilities. We've also invested in creating global test rigs. So it's not we firing a million requests from a single black box. We can simulate it as close to reality as it wants. So we can create a simulation environment where during the daytime, I have requests coming from the Pacific servers. And as the sun moves, I change the patterns of where physically the requests are coming coming from. So the result is I can do simulations which are very realistic. I can get data from applications, I can get deep data from the cloud infrastructure layer, I can put it all together. And the beauty is it's completely non-intrusive. All the solutions that you will deal with out there would require some amount of inserting of agents into your application. You have to rebuild your application to make sure that performance monitoring is built in. We are saying we don't need it. We have a global test rig. We will get you all the insights. We'll get insights that can come from the application. We can get insights that can come from an end user view. We can get insight from the core cloud platforms, and we can all put it together and present in a way that you can quickly figure out. And we have had huge success. The example that I was talking about, we were able to cut down the entire infrastructure to 40 to 50% of what originally it was, and you can imagine return on investment can be amazingly fast in such scenarios. So we are investing in solutions like this to make sure beyond everything good that we can help you with cloud, we can really help you get deep control on your investments.